All right, guys, in this edition of Blue Chip Basketball Performance Talks, we're going to be talking about sleep. So, the title of today is The Importance of Sleep in the Developing Athlete. We're going to go over why sleep makes you a better athlete, how much sleep you need, and how to sleep better. So, again, the purpose of this is to talk about how you can become a better athlete and a better basketball player and a healthier human being using sleep to do so. So let's dive in here. We're going to talk about what happens when basketball players don't get enough sleep. This isn't stuff I'm making up. This is all facts taken from research. Research shows that basketball players average less than 7 hours of nightly sleep. This exposes the players to a decrease in athletic performance and basketball skills, including shooting accuracy. More likely to have poor moods, and you will have decreased cognitive function if you don't get enough sleep. This will also dampen your recovery, and you will not repair muscle as well between bouts of exercise, and you won't build muscle as well either. You'll also have a higher likelihood for injuries and illnesses. I would highlight that last bullet point. That's definitely true. Higher likelihood for injuries and illnesses. So this is what happens when basketball players do get adequate sleep, or they increase their normal amount of sleep. And we'll kind of talk about this study that showed this in a little bit. But they improved sprint speed, and their reaction time was much better when they got better sleep or got more sleep. They increased shooting accuracy. This was shown both at the free throw line and in three-point percentage. And then the likelihood for injuries and illnesses is much less as well, which this can be really important when you've got several games back to back, or you've got practice every single night, games every night. It's really easy to get sick during that time and to get hurt as well. So getting good sleep helps your body rest and repair during those hard stretches. So how much sleep do you need? Well, research shows that elite male athletes need 8.3 hours of sleep in order to feel rested. So rested is a little bit different for everybody, but that's about the average. And this is elite male athletes. Usually this means like 18 to 30-year-olds in the research. So since most of you guys are younger than this, you guys need a little bit more sleep than that too, because teenagers need more sleep than adults do. So my recommendation is to spend a minimum of 9 hours in your bed uninterrupted. Now, not necessarily sleep time, but if it takes you 20 minutes to fall asleep, and maybe you wake up once in the night and you go back to sleep, then hopefully you're getting around 8.5 hours of sleep. So that's a minimum. You can certainly make that 9.5 or 10 hours, but you guys should be shooting for 8.5 to 9 hours of actual sleep a night, which means you need to spend at least 9 hours of uninterrupted time in your bed. Use naps as well when necessary, but you don't want to nap too long and you don't want to nap too late in the day. So if you maybe only got like 5 or 6 hours of sleep the night before, then you can maybe take that hour-and-a-half nap, but typically you shouldn't be napping any longer than 30 minutes, and you don't want to be napping too late in the day either, because then you're going to disrupt the next night's sleep. And if you have a game or practice that night, if you nap for a long time, you're going to more than likely be groggy for your game as well and not have the best energy. So naps are great, but just don't do it too long and don't nap too late. So some tips for optimizing your sleep. It's best not to have any meals within 3 hours of bed. So let's just take 10:30 as your bedtime. That means you want to be done eating meals by 7:30, 8 o'clock at the latest. This is for actual meals, okay? And I know you guys are probably trying to gain some weight or maintain weight so that you can build muscle mass, but you need to be doing most of your eating lunch, dinner time, and then you're basically shutting it down before bed, because you'll sleep much better if you're not super full. No snacks within about an hour and a half of bed as well. Definitely start decreasing screen time before bed, and the moment you get into your bed, you are off your phone, no screens, no phones in bed. about an hour to 2 hours before going into bed as well. Start dimming or at least decreasing your exposure to light. So that just tells your brain that it's nighttime, it's time to wind down. Basically, you want to start decreasing your light exposure before bed, and then we want you to sleep in complete darkness. So it's best if you don't even have a night light, if you have shades that you can close, if you can cover up the windows with shades, that's ideal. So sleep in complete darkness. And then also use your bed for sleeping only. So when you get home from school, don't lay down in your bed if you're just checking your phone and this and that. Don't do your homework on your bed. Don't use your bed for anything else but to sleep in. That way you get in the mindset. Your body will basically tell itself whenever you're laying in bed, it's time to go to sleep. It's not time to get on your phone. It's not time to talk to your friends and this and that. Your bed is for sleeping only. And then exercise and nutrition can help with sleep, but try not to exercise within 2 hours of your bedtime. So this is just important because it gives you plenty of time to lower your heart rate, to recover, to calm your body down before going to bed. So if you exercise hard, it will actually help you sleep, but you just don't want to be exercising hard at 10 o'clock at night if you're trying to go to bed at 11, So get your exercise in earlier in the day. And of course you got your practice and your games and such. Try not to, have those within 2 hours of your bedtime there. Good nutrition will help as well with sleeping. So the more you cut down on sugar and, avoid some of those foods that we talked about in the nutrition videos, then that should help with your sleep a little bit, help you rest and help you recover. So those are some tips for optimizing sleep. We pulled most of the research in this video from 2 different studies. Here is one study that is pretty fascinating. If you just go into Google and type in the Stanford college basketball sleep study, it'll pop right up. Here's the title, Effects of Sleep Extension on the Athletic Performance of Collegiate Basketball Players. This was done over a decade ago, but they basically followed around the Stanford men's basketball team for a year and kind of altered their sleeping habits and documented the details of the improvements that were made in their sports performance and their basketball skills as well. So pretty cool study there if you guys are interested. But we already kind of mentioned a lot of the benefits of increasing sleep time at the beginning of the video. If you guys have any more questions or comments on this talk on sleep specifically, or if you guys have other topics that you'd want to see covered on a video in the future, you can let us know. You can email me. There's my email. There's our clinic number. You can text or call that. There's our website. We have a weekly blog that is focused on youth athletes, youth athletics, sports injuries, rehabbing and treating sports injuries, this and that. So you can go ahead and find that on there. And we usually post those on our social media, on our Instagram and Facebook there that you have our handles. So if you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out, and hope those sleep tips are helpful and that you guys put those into practice. Again, the purpose is simply to see how you can become a better basketball player by using sleep. So, all right, guys,